Hi friends, it's Peggy Noe from prettypapercards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here with my little Yorkshire Terrier, Ellie. Look at her, look at the camera today. That's pretty good. How are you, Lori Mantovi? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. We have a fun fold card today. I'm really excited to bring it to you. And we have a lot of news, a lot of stuff that I want to talk to you about. So let me make sure we're live. Okay, it looks like we are. So let me get this going. Ross, good to see you, and Pam, good to see you guys. Happy Friday. You know, it's, excuse me, it's the Friday before a big weekend. Well, not this weekend, but before a big week. Next week, 4th of July is a week from today. And so a lot of people are taking this week off. Coming week, and so it's going to be like a long vacation week for a lot of people. Hilda, Jeannie, good to see you guys. Jan, Jeannie, let me see. I'm never sure. Jeannie, yes, I think it's Jeannie. Am I right? Yeah, it looks like Jeannie. Okay. Tina, Colleen, good to see you guys. So is anybody kind of taking next week off for a vacation? I know I've talked to some working people that are pretty much taking next week off, which is good. I'm happy that people can take like a whole week off. So we're good here. The weather's warm, not too hot, just warm, and we're relaxing. I made a carrot cake the other night, and that was good. We enjoyed that. And let's see, that's really about all that's going on. Raining, is that a little rain? Somebody's having rain? Yes. Tracy, good to see you. Just relaxing here with you guys, with my friends. It's so good to see you. I wish we could all be in the same room. You know, we could all be together, doing this together. I think that, I mean, I know this is the the closest we can get to it right now, but I really like to be personally with everybody. So maybe I've met quite a few of you, but it would be a dream to all of us be together. Linda, cloudy and damp Pennsylvania. That's pretty much what I thought. I hope it clears up for you guys by the 4th of July. I really do. Everybody back east. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on and coming up going on. I keep getting a little shadow up at the top, so I want to see if I can fix that. Let me put Ellie down. So we're in our last week, our last few days actually, of our sweet sale. You guys remember that that we've had all month. There's only a few more days. We're going to use a bundle from a suite today. So if you have something you want that's part of a suite, do take advantage of this BOGO 50% off the second item sale, because if you're getting a whole suite or even a bundle and you get another bundle from another suite, it's really worth it. Okay, so the last, let's see, 3 days of the sweet sale. Okay, the other thing, my Notes and Totes video tutorial bundle is still available for free with a $50 order in my online store during the month of June. So only 3 more days for that, and afterward you can buy it for $20 in my tutorial shop, and you can buy it there now if you're a demonstrator. But I'm excited to tell you about my next, this is the group I'm part of, the Papercraft Collective, a nice group of 7 demonstrators, and we all make projects on a particular bundle or suite. And for the month of July, we're using the Sweet Jar bundle. And I know some of you have this already. We are combining this with the Jar of Joy bundle, and we have 7 really amazing projects. So I'm going to turn you down because I have a couple things to show you in that regard. Okay, hold on here. Let me turn you down. There we go. Okay, so here is the flyer for the Sweet Jar tutorial bundle. And if you like the Sweet Jar set, you guys are going to really want to see these beautiful cards and make them for yourselves. One is like some of us saw it on stage. This was done by my friend Robin Dawes, where little sequins and glittery things pour out from one jar into another. Super, super cute. Chocolate chip cookies. I mean, so fun. And here is the Sweet Jar bundle. My punch is over to the side. I'm not going to pull that out, but this comes with a punch. Okay, and then this is another thing I want to talk to you about is starting Tuesday, July 1st, Stampin' Up! Is releasing a whole bunch of fabulous online exclusives. And one of them is called the Jar of Joy. And what it does is it turns the jar into a Christmas and holiday item. And it has another jar, but it doesn't come as a bundle with the punch. You can buy the punch separately, or you can buy it with the Sweet Jar bundle. But here we have gingerbread man, ornaments, snowman, and we have used that. Some of us have used that in our tutorial bundle. So it's the Sweet Jar and the Jar of Joy. And I wanted to show you my card that I made from the Jar of Joy set. I had so much fun making this. Okay, it has the gingerbread man that, you know, that little stamp comes that you put inside the jar. But I cut out a bunch of different gingerbread men, and I added, we still have those peppermint embellishments are still available this year, and they go perfectly. And there's red and white baker's twine, and I stamped the ornaments up at the top. Roz loves the jars. The Christmas one is amazing if you're on the fence about it. And so you'll get a PDF and a video tutorial showing you how to make this card. And again, here's the Jar of Joy. So I actually wanted to recommend that you get out some paper and start jotting down some of the online exclusives that you're going to want to take advantage of on Tuesday, the 1st of July. And why do I say that? Because many of you know that some of these things sell. Tina has 3 items already on her list. Order pronto, that's all I can say, because some of these things I believe are going to become unavailable pretty quick because they're going to be so popular. This could be one, and this is adorable. I love it. I can't wait to use it more. I mean, I just got barely what you might call a taste of it with the gingerbread men when I made this card. Okay, getting all my liquid, because I have more to show you from this this new online exclusive release on the 1st. Okay, another thing I want to talk to you about, I just used it for the first time today, is the Jolly Holly bundle. You guys, I love it, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if this also becomes unavailable pretty quickly. So I'm showing it to you so that you can go on right away on the 1st and get these things if you really want them. Because, you know, what they say is I believe there will be, if it all sells right away, hopefully they will get more, but they don't promise with the online exclusive items. And the thing that's beautiful about this is these dies are part of a hybrid embossing folder, okay, this Jolly Holly, where this die fits inside of this folder. And I just played with it today, and it fits in like this. And you put your paper in, and you run it through, and look what comes out. All I did is run a piece of garden green through there. I guess I'm going to have to hold it up to show you. Look at those holly leaves that pop up. You can see from the back, not everything, it doesn't cut them out. Tina, you haven't used this yet. Yes, Tracy. It's amazing. And all I did is go around and just kind of curl up the leaves of it so they would pop up. But you know, I want to use this on basic white cardstock and watercolor it and put little red berries and green leaves. Isn't that gorgeous? So this is called the Holly Jolly Bundle, and this is a hybrid embossing folder. And of course, we're going to use it by itself without cutting. I mean, that's going to be so pretty. It has great sentiments. Just after using it just the one time, I really feel this could be a set that you might use all the time. You know, that you could really use for your Christmas, all your Christmas stuff, okay? So that's the second thing I wanted to show you. And then the third one of the online exclusives that we've already talked about is the sunflower embossing folder. And I even put the number on here for you so that you'll have the number and be ready to get it right away on the 1st, because this is absolutely amazing. It's 166145, available July 1st. And you guys, it is just, we used it. I already made a card if you were with me on the live a week or so ago, a week and a half ago. But I brought back the card we made that day. We did a little sponging with a sponge dauber. I mean, look at how gorgeous this is. And then I made this one where I embossed a piece of basic white, and then I embossed separately a piece of lemon lolly and sponged it in there, and I put some glitter in there, glittery sequins. And then here's another I used for this one, Darling Duckling, and the ribbon. So this isn't, and this is just the tip of the iceberg of what this embossing folder does. And I'm going to use it all fall. There's lots I have so many ideas and things I still want to do that I'll be doing next week, okay? We're going to be using this stuff next week, but I want to make sure that you get it. And so July 1st, 166145, and if you spend $50 in my online store starting July 1st, then you'll get the Jar of Joy video tutorial bundle that includes also the sweet jar. So much going on. Let me see if I told you everything. I had a little list, okay? Let me show you what we're going to do today. I guess that's all the news. So what we're going to do today, we're going to make a fun fold, and I just feel bad, I cannot find the video that I took it from. But I don't even know the name. But you guys, it is so much fun. Look at this. Is this not beautiful? And I wanted to make it with, I love the beautiful Motifs bundle. I really do. What I love about it, and that's what I've used for this, is this stamp set has great sentiments, and I like these two stamps that you can do like that. You can put a stamp over it too. But also, I love these dies, especially these two. These three are the ones that do like we just saw on the Jolly Holly die set, where the things pop up out of the paper. But these two dies fully cut a flower and a leaf, and they are so frilly and so fun. I'm going to show you how to make this card, and we're going to do this today. And a couple other things that are also new that I want to show you that we're going to use on this card. I'll just kind of put that there. Let me just move a couple things around, because I've also been really wanting to use the two-tone cardstock, okay? And I did not use it for the sample card, but we're going to use it when we put our card together, when we make our next one, because I wanted to use two-tone cardstock. And this is the soft seafoam two-tone cardstock. These are some pieces we're going to use right now in our project. But here is the reverse. So each piece has the two shades of the same color. So this is soft seafoam, and it has a white core inside so that you can tear it. Now, I'm not doing tearing today, but I'm planning on tearing some paper maybe next week to see how that works out, because it's a neat little technique, and it has a bit of a shabby chic look, which I like. So Stampin' Up! Has 12 by 12 two-tone cardstock in every single color they make. So that is pretty cute, right? Pretty neat. And here's the thing, if you, well, I didn't want to spend the money to get every single color that Stampin' Up! Has in the two-tone cardstock. So what I did is I got an assortment, and I got a couple of assortments. The one I chose this soft seafoam from is called the Wildflower Celebrations assortment of two-tone cardstock, and it has 12 sheets, 2 each of every color in this particular assortment. And I wanted to show you, I just printed this off from the website, okay? They have more than just these 3 assortments. I think these 2 are also assortments that you can't really see, but just as an idea. Thank you so much. Let's see, who is that? Michelle, good to see you, and Candy, good to see you, and Ruth. So these are the different assortments: Turtley Sweet, Celebrate Together, Wildflower Celebrations, Storybook Life, Meant to Be. So what I did is I chose 2 of those that had colors I like. Pink, of course, that's pretty in pink. And what you do is you get 2 12 by 12 sheets. I mean, that's a lot of cardstock in each color. I've already cut some up, so some of them, the parts are elsewhere, but you can see when you, let me do that more so you can see it without folding. You see what I mean? The difference there? So rather than buying every color, I just got 2 assortments. If you want this assortment, it's Wildflower Celebrations, and it's 166627, in case you want that one. But just look under two-tone cardstock on the website, and you can see all the different assortments that they have, which are very neat. Now, the other thing we're going to use today, I don't know if you can tell on my card, these papers that we're going to cut are some of our paper that's just called Designer Series paper. Yes, hi Beth, they are fun to work with. And I don't really talk about this paper very often, so I wanted to bring some out to show you today, because I'm going to use this soft seafoam. They're just called Designer Series papers, and every year Stampin' Up! Prints out 6 by 6, or sells, I guess we could say, 6 by 6 Designer Series paper in every color, okay? And the way you get them, it's here with the Designer Series papers, and these are on page 121 of the catalog. I wanted to show you. And so the patterns are, once they choose the patterns for the year, they do them in every single color, okay? And they're sold by the 2 in-color groupings. Then you have the brights, the neutrals, regals, and down here where you really can't see, but my favorite, the subtles. And I just wanted to show these to you because they're so much fun. If you're working with a particular color, you can just pull these out, and you have built-in Designer Series paper. Now, these are the designs this year. Every color has a leaf pattern, on the back the stripes, and a flower pattern, and on the back just kind of a watercolory, model-y kind of look. So you can get this in every single color, and every pack has 4 sheets of each color. I think it's 4. It could be 8. Let me see. 2 sheets of 2 double-sided designs in the 10 colors in these color families. So I just think we're going to use them today, and I wanted to use them because every year I really like the designs. Every year the designs are different, and I always like them. And I really haven't ever talked about them that I recall. So we're going to do all of that today. And here's your fun fold card. Again, if somebody knows the name, I don't know the name of it, but I think it's super fun, and it stands up. So this is what the person sees, and I just think it's super cute. So get out a paper and pen or pencil. Yes, Tracy, great packs. I love them. We are going to use our paper trimmer to cut here, and I have, if you want to take a little snapshot, I have the measurements right here, but I'll use them as we go through. So our card base here, and again, I'm using the two-tone soft seafoam. So these are your two colors, and I'm going to make the card base, I'm going to have the light side up for the card base. Okay, so the card base it really takes one, well, use a 12 by 12. It's 10 3/4 by 5 1/2, of course, or you could use an 11 by 8 1/2. But this is already 10 3/4 by 5 1/2. Now we're going to start scoring, and we're going to score at 1 5/8, and that is a little brain exercise, right? 4/8 is a half, so 5/8 is 2 little marks, is 1/8 here. So 1 5/8, we're going to score there, and then again at 3 1/4. Okay, and then we could pull this down, but I think it's easier just to flip it around and do the same thing again. 1 5/8 right there. I don't know if I went up all the way. Okay, and 3 1/4. There we go. I'd love to find out the name of this card. I don't know why I feel like I need a name, but it doesn't matter because I like it. So now what we're going to do is score the lines, and again we want to have, I decided to have the light side of our two-tone cardstock showing up. Okay, so we want to fold this one in, and there you can really see the light and dark. And then we're going to fold this one back like this, okay? And do the same thing on the other side. Fold the 3 1/4 line in, and the little 1 5/8 panel like that. And that's your card base, just like that, which is a kind of fun card base. You can do a lot with this. So that's the base of what we're doing. Now, I think what we'll do, let's go ahead and cut our designer series paper. And I'm going to use both sides. I'm going to use the leaves on one side, and I'm going to use the lines on another side. So I'm going to get my trimmer back. And if you'll notice on the sample, these two panels, the one on the left and the one on the right, are not the same size. They're the same width, but they're a different length. Do you see that? This one is longer than this one. So our designer series paper pieces are different measurements. So the first one is 2 3/4, 2 3/4 by 4 3/4. 4 3/4. Okay. And the second one is again 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. 4 1/4. Okay. So now we have our designer series paper and pieces, and we're going to use one side on. We're going to use each side so we can show off the two sides of this pretty paper. All right, now we need our panels of the two-tone cardstock that are going to go behind these pieces. And so remember I said we're going to use the light tone for the card base, and we're going to use the dark tone for these pieces. Your taller panel is on the left and your shorter panel is going to be on the right. So this is the way it's going to go. And I think this is going to just look nice because basically this is a monochromatic card. And using the different shades, I think the shades of the same color really, really brings it out. Really, it's the way you should do a monochromatic card, I think, so that you have lots of pretty shades of the same color. Okay, so there's, and I'll let me tell you, this two-tone cardstock panel, the tall one is 3 by 5, and the shorter one is 3 by 4.5. Okay. And I'll show those little measurements. Remind me to show the measurements again at the end, and I'll put them back up. Okay, here we go. Let me just see. I want to get that nice and even, framed nicely on each side. Okay, now all we're going to do is adhere these. And that is the thing you have to remember, is do not put glue on the whole thing. We're only going to put enough glue to adhere it to this thin panel here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and push that off to the side because I want to be able to concentrate on this panel. And we're going to want to have it so that the same amount of cardstock is showing on all the 3 sides. So I'd rather put, come in a little shorter than, as far as my glue, I'd rather come in shorter than too far out. So I'm just going to do it this way. And then lay it right down here and try to make sure the distance on all sides, the measurement on all sides is the same. Okay, and let's check. Yay, no glue on the back. Okay, that's good. Now, already we see that our card is, you could actually leave it like this and put a different color or a different pattern of designer series paper on the right, and it would be a delightful card. But what we're going to do is put another panel on the right, but this panel is going to be smaller. You see how it's a little bit smaller there, a little shorter? Okay, so we're going to do the same thing over on this side. And again, we're going to make sure that we try not to put glue outside of the area where we want it to adhere, because it'd be real easy to forget and put the glue out here, right? Okay, so all we're going to do is try to center it the same distance from the top to the bottom. This side we want to be the same as the left side, if that makes sense. So I think that looks pretty good. Let's try it now. And what you do is you put these folds inside and the panels then, whoa, no, I guess you don't. Yes, that's supposed to work. Yeah, the panel goes inside. There we go. So that's how that card looks. And then all we do is decorate. Isn't that just fun? I just think that's so much fun. Whoops, why are we sticking? Somehow we got a little glue under there. No, we're good. Okay, we're good. Before we do our decorating, we're going to put more panels on the inside so that we have a place to write our sentiment. And again, I'm using the darker shade of the two-tone cardstock. Doesn't that look nice to have that darker shade showing? I really think it highlights, it really, really highlights our two-tone cardstock. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it. I've never really used two-tone cardstock before. Now, what about you guys? But I think I'm really going to like it. I like it on this card, that's for sure. Okay, so this panel, the soft seafoam panel on the inside is 3.5 by 4 3/4, and then I have a piece of basic white that is 3 by 4 1/4. Hi, Holly, good to see you. Yes, put the word prize because this is going to be the card that will be the prize for, and you know what? It's not next week because a week from today is 4th of July, so it'll be 2 weeks from today. But that's okay. It'll be the prize on that day anyway. Okay, so we're just going to put that piece on the inside. Quite a few little panels, but look at how fun that is. Isn't that fun? And then you open it up to reveal the inside. You know, you could do so much with this. We could really foof it up. But at this point, we're just going to decorate the front. So let's get out our pieces that we're going to cut with. And again, we're using the beautiful Motifs dies and stamp set. I thought I had a little, well, I'll have to grab one, a little panel for a little strip for our sentiment, but I'll get one. I thought I had one. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use these two dies. This is going to be flowers in white, and this is going to be the leaves, and we're going to use soft sea foam to cut one leaf. I just love this leaf. So let's just cut it like this. And we'll run this through. Let's see. There we go. It really is just beautiful. If you don't have the beautiful Motifs bundle, I'm just saying, you really need it. Oh, Lisa, hi, you have a wedding in August. It would be a beautiful card for a wedding card. It would be gorgeous. It really would. You could also do it just in all white. That would also be beautiful. Yep, it looks like it cut all the way through. So let me take your pick tool, and we'll try to push most of the little things out. Let's go down here also. It's delicate. You have to be careful with these particular dies. They do cut little delicate pieces. I don't want to tear off any of the leaves. Okay, here we go. Just pull very gently here. There we go. Isn't that pretty? And then we'll punch these out. Let's see. It might not have cut quite as good as it should have. Maybe I should have run it through a second time. Sometimes it's better to do that, but that's okay. I love the pointy side of the I love both. I love the take your pick tool, but the pointy side, the little poker part, is really handy for this type of thing. I'm just kind of poking around those leaves to try to loosen that line. That was my fault. I should have gone back and forth a second time, or back anyway. Okay, so let's see if we can get that little piece to release without tearing our leaf. If not, I'll do another one because I've got plenty of paper. There we go. Look at that leaf. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. I love it. Okay, now we're going to go back and do the flower. I already did one flower. I went ahead and cut one flower to save us a little time. But I want to show you how beautiful this flower is. So let's cut this one. And I think I will go forward and back. Yes, it's gorgeous, Linda. It's just gorgeous. Okay, forward and back. Sometimes on the very detailed dies, it really helps to do that. Yeah, this cut through very, very nicely. And even it cut through so well, even the die is coming right off. But I'm being careful. See all those little tiny pieces. Wow, we just want to be. And I don't think I went all the way to the bottom there. There we go. Okay. Come on out. There we go. There it is. And we have still a couple of little spots to poke out. Do you guys have a little vacuum that you vacuum up your crumbs with I'll show you my vacuum. I've shown it before, but some of you might be new and you might not have seen my little vacuum. Let me show you how it works. So I'll pull these to the side so the vacuum doesn't vacuum them up. And I'll show it to you. I love my vacuum. Okay, let me grab it. It's right back here. This is an Amazon thing. I think I have it on my blog. I think I have a link because it just vacuums up all the crumbs. I just love it. Isn't that spiffy? There we go. All clean. Love it, love it. Okay. So now we have our pretty flowers, and what we're going to do with our leaf here, we're going to do a little bit of sponging with our leaf. I'm going to take some old olive ink. Actually, I think I'm going to use that later. I think this is the one I want because it does turn out pretty dark. This is your soft seafoam ink. I'm going to go ahead and we'll see how this looks. And I'm going to sponge the edges of our leaf to make it really stand out. Let's see. This way it'll really stand out against the paper. I don't know why I've been using my sponge daubers a lot lately. I don't know about you guys, but once I start using something, then I kind of use it a lot. And so this even adds to that two-tone effect. We're using two-tone cardstock, and this sponging just kind of adds to that. And we don't necessarily need to sponge everything, just parts. And I'm trying to make the tips even darker so they stand out more. It just really brings it to life, I think. I'll just do that, and that should be enough right there. And that was the soft seafoam ink. So you see what I mean? It's dark enough that you don't need to use a darker ink. So look at how pretty that looks, inked like that. And then the white flowers are really going to stand up. They just really look pretty. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment as long as we're at it. I thought I had a strip, but I guess I didn't. I save these little strips. I don't know about you guys, but it's very handy. Just save your little bits for using later. So what we're going to do is use the sentiment Just a Note from the beautiful Motifs stamp set. And I wanted this sentiment to be just a little bit darker, so that's why I'm using this particular sentiment and this ink. And I wanted a small, delicate sentiment too. I didn't want a big, crazy sentiment because that would overpower the delicate nature of this pretty card. I'm just going to angle it. And now we're ready to adhere our little pieces. And this is where we're just going to use tiny, tiny dots of glue on our leaf. And probably a good thing to do is to kind of decide how you want to position your leaf before you start. I already know I want to position it like this because I want one of the flowers to show up here. So, and I'm just going to go with tiny, tiny dots. And I rarely do the upper area of my piece that I'm adhering because that makes it, then it can pop up a little bit and it can look more realistic, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think, but that's kind of what I think. So I'm not doing every leaf, just little dots here and there. It doesn't really take an awful lot. Okay, now we'd already decided where we were going to position our leaf, just like this. Okay. There we go. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. And then we have our flowers, so we'll put one, and one thing, I think I'm going to trim off the ends of the flowers. I want one to go up there, like that. Let's see. So I'm going to trim off the little end right here. My fingers are sticky, so they're kind of sticky to that, but isn't that just cute? this is why I love these dies. And so just a little bit of glue again, not too much, just a little, just enough to hold it in place. Whoa. Oh, that's handy. It fell down on the correct side. Okay. I think that's enough. And we're just going to put this right up here, trying to get the little space to be right down there. Okay, because we're going to put a little bow over this area. Now we have our second flower, and I really want that to go in this area, the main part of it. So again, we'll trim this part off, put that to the side. Tracy, I agree. It's the dies. It's just the dies. They're just so beautiful. And they're kind of wispy, maybe. Just very light. And especially in these colors. So we're just going to try to move that over a little bit, kind of like that. And I did leave the flowers just not glued at the very tip top. So I'm just going to pull them just a little bit, try to pull them just a little so they kind of stand out. One thing you can do if you want to is take your bone folder and just pull them up and curl them just a little bit, and the same with your leaf, because it really adds dimension. Okay, now let's add our sentiment, our little just a note sentiment. That can be adhered with 2 little dimensionals. It fits perfectly on a 1/2 inch wide strip. And I'm going to put it right over here on the left. Just a note, okay. And now we're going to make a double. We could use some type, oh, it does remind you of Queen Anne's lace. You're right, Roz. You could use green, some type of green ribbon if you wanted to, but I'm just going to use some baker's twine, and I'm going to make a double bow. You could, well, maybe I'll make a single bow because it's so delicate. Maybe the other bow looked a little too. Because the other one was double, let's make this one single. And we'll just tie a little bow, just like this. I think that might be better than the double. Just kind of manipulate it and pull the little tails down. Okay, and let's get a mini glue dot for this little guy. Actually, I think I'm going to put the glue dot on first, where I want it to be. I want my bow, well, let's test it. Yeah, I want my bow to be right here. I'm going to put my glue dot down there, and then I can bring the bow in and position it where I want it, just like that. And I forgot, we need to put that neat little stamp on the inside. I really like this stamp for the inside. This is it's little flowers. It's just kind of an interesting thing. Let's do this. Just like that. Isn't that kind of neat? And you can write over it. You know, a black pen, a brown pen, blue pen, any pen will work well and show up over that. I'll trim the tails just a little bit, but I do like to have them long. And so there's our card. I don't know the name of this, but I think it's a really great fold. Oh, and we need to do something with our envelope. Let's bring our envelope up. We'll do that same little flowery swoosh right in the corner here. It's kind of unusual, isn't it? Isn't it a pretty and delicate card? I love it. So if you put the word prize, you will be entered in my drawing to win this card. I'm crazy about it. And then you can, the recipient who gets the card can stand it up, and even you can stand it open. And let me do this one more time in case you didn't get the measurements. Take a little snapshot of the screen there, so that then you can enlarge that and see the different measurements. I use soft sea foam. It's a fun fold. I use the beautiful Motifs bundle, sponge dauber, and I put sea foam and olive ink. You know what that means. So hopefully that'll help you. And there's our little card for today. Okay, we need to give away a prize from last week. Let me pop you up here. There you are. Thanks so much for hanging with me there. We had fun, didn't we? I love this card. And I'm glad I make two. I make the one for the sample, and I make the one I give to you. Then I always have one left over for myself, which I really like. Okay, so the card that's the prize today is the one, it was another fun fold, because I try to do fun folds on Friday. From last Friday, we used the Notes and Totes bundle, and we made that little card. And I put my own initial on there. If you get this and you don't like it, you could just put a circle over it and put something else. So the winner of last week's card, the winner of this card is Judy Ernst Top. Congratulations, Judy. I have your address, so I'll be sending this to you. And I'm so thankful that you watch my videos. You guys, thanks so much for watching. Happy Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll be back next Wednesday. But don't forget, Tuesday the 1st, all those online exclusives go live. And you want to grab those ones that you really want, because I want to make sure that you can get them. And sometimes they become unavailable fast. We never know which ones would become unavailable. That's why I showed them to you in the beginning. So if you came in late, go back and watch the beginning, because I demonstrated some of those products. Okay, guys, thank you so much.